So we have that equation. We have y equals 5x over 4 minus 10 over 4. So this is what we have first. Now, what do we do next? Well, again, we need two different x values. So just like before, I chose 0 and 1. You can really choose any two different x values you want. I mean, you could choose 1 billion if you wanted to. Why would you do that? I honestly don't know, but you could theoretically. But when x is 0, right, we have 5 times 0 over 4 minus 10 over 4. Of course, the first term here is gone because the numerator is 0. So we get minus 10 over 4. You know, and you do that in your calculator, you get minus 10 over 4 is minus 2.5. So this is our first point, which is the y-intercept. Okay. When x is 1, right, we plug it in, we get 5 over 4 minus 10 over 4, which is negative 5 over 4. And that also turns out to be negative 1.25. So here we get the point 1, negative 1.25. This is what we get here. So we have these 2 points. What do we do next? We plot them and connect, as you can see. We plot them and connect. This one I actually made through GeoGebra. That's also another free software you can use. It's not as easy to use as Desmos, but it is nice. All right. Do you have any questions about this? Let's do a worksheet then. Okay, so for the worksheet, I do have a backup example here. We'll get to that if we have extra time. So I did email everyone the worksheet. So let me minimize this. Stop this. Okay. I did email everyone the worksheet. I figured what everyone can do is work on this for about like 5 or 10 minutes. We can go through it together. Okay. Notice here, wait, hold on. Am I sharing? No, oh, good. I am sharing this. Notice here that you're calculating the slope in these 3 parts, and then you're getting an equation of the line. Okay. I did say sketch the line, but I don't think I did that in my notes. So I'm going to take that part out. Okay. And then you have here, get an equation of a circle, get the equation of another circle. And then you have these 2 questions which are very similar to what I did. Basically, you're finding x and y intercepts. Okay, so for the first one, just get the slope and an equation of the line. Okay, I put sketch the line, but that was a mistake. So anyway, take about, I guess maybe 5, maybe I'll check in with you guys in about 5 minutes and see where you are. But I'm going to stop recording now. All right, so here we'll go through we're going to go through how to do these questions. We'll do as many as we can. Okay. All right. So looks like everyone can see it. That's good. All right. So for the first one, okay, what we want to do is get the slope. Okay. Okay. Let me zoom in a bit so everyone can see. There we go. Okay. So we have the 2 points here, right? 1, 4, and 3, 5, right? So what we want to do is get the slope of the line that goes through those 2 points, okay? Okay, well, how are we going to do that? Well, we have our slope formula, right? Change in y over change in x. Okay, so, but you want to be consistent though, right? Okay, so here, we do change in y, so let's do 5 minus 4, right? So this is our m, minus 4 Okay, now we divide by the oh, for goodness sakes. Divided by the corresponding change in x, right? So we did 5 minus 1. So we have to divide by 3 minus 1. Now, excuse me, we did 5 minus 4. Now we have to divide by 3 minus 1, like so. Okay? Doing so, what do we get? Well, we're going to have 1 on top. On the bottom, we get 2. So the slope of the line is a half. The slope of this line is a half. I mean, we knew it had to be positive. Now, how did we know that? Well, okay. If you look at the points here, what are the points telling us? If we increase x from 1 to 3, right? Y goes from 4 to 5. So if we go from the first point, the point on the left, to the point on the right, x is going from 1 to 3. As that happens, y is going from 4 to 5. So x is increasing and y is increasing also, which tells us that the slope had to be positive. That's what that tells us. So we knew the slope had to be positive. Now we want an equation of the line, right? Now, I was going to do point slope formula. I can also do slope intercept form if you want. So I'll do both. So for point slope form, okay, remember what you have is y minus b is the slope times x minus a. And again, this is if it passes through the point AB. That's what happens in general. So for this, our m is a half. Our AB, we can really choose it to be either one of these 2 points. Doesn't matter. So if I use the point 1, 4, okay, using this, we're going to get y minus 4, right? The y coordinate equals 1/2 times x minus 1. Right? You have y minus the y coordinate equals the slope times x minus the x coordinate. This is one equation of the line. I mean, on a quiz or test or anything, you only need one. You only need one equation. But if we use the other point, so instead we use the point 3, 5, let's say, for whatever reason we chose that point, then our line, our equation that is, would be y minus 5 equals 1/2 times x minus 3. X minus 3. So that, okay, is another equation of the same line. Both of them are right. Excuse me, either one is right. Okay? Now, let me do slope intercept form because I know most people do that, use that form. So what is that going to look like? Let me move this up. Let's see, so everyone can see. Okay, that should be good. That should be enough room. So here, right, that's going to be y equals mx plus b, right? Where b is the y-intercept. So in this case, we're going to have y equals 1/2 times x plus b, right? We have to figure out what b is, though. I mean, if you gave me either one of these 2 point slope forms, you'd be done. We would have to figure out what b is, though, here. Now, how do you do that? Well, the points given here, both of them are equations of the line. Excuse me, both of them are points on the line. So both of these are solutions to the equation. So this equation is going to hold if x is 1 and y is 4. So we have 4 is 1/2 times x, which in this case is 1, plus b. Okay, so what is that? Well, that's going to be 1 over 2 plus b. So we have 4 equals a half plus b. Well, you can probably see what to do next. You're going to subtract, right? You subtract a half. Oh boy, running out of room. So we get b. 4 minus a half is 7 over 2. So we get 7 over 2 equals b. And so another one we get is y equals, no, excuse me, let me fix that. 1 over 2 times x plus 7 over 2. Again, you can see that is a little more work. I mean, that's right. But I know people usually like to use the slope-intercept form. Okay. Do you have any questions about this one? Okay, let me move on to part B then. Same idea, except you're using different points. Okay. Okay, so for this, right, it's the same idea. We got to get the slope. Okay, so what can we do? Well, we can do 6 minus 2 over 4 minus 2, right? Change in y divided by the corresponding change in x. And so what we get is 4 over 2, which is 2. You know, it's a little nicer than a half. So our slope is 2. And again, same thing, right? With point slope form or a slope intercept form, you can use either one to get an equation of the line. Okay, well, with slope intercept, with a point slope form, right? It's just like the previous example. We can use either point. So we have y minus, using the second point, we have y minus 6 equals the slope 2 times x minus 4. That's one equation of the line. Okay, now you could do the same thing with the other point, but let me do slope intercept form because I'm guessing most people did that. So here we have y equals 2x plus b. And again, you can use either point, 2, 2, or 4, 6. They both are on the line, so they're both solutions to the equation. You know, they have to be. Okay. So for instance, if I take y to be 6 and x to be, then x would be 4. And then we have b over here. But again, we have to figure out what b is, right? Well, on the right, we have 6 equals 8 plus b. Oh, there it goes. Scared me. I thought it stopped syncing, but came back. Okay, but from here, what would b have to be? See if I can solve for it. We can subtract. No, not subtract. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. We want to get b, so we subtract 8 from both sides. 8's cancel. B equals negative 2. So we have y equals 2 times x. B is negative 2, so we have this. So that's another solution. Okay, that's good. Are there any questions about this?